But right now, I will give you some bullet points, and then we'll get the panel to weigh in. Here are the bullet points. 30 states, all right, owe the federal government $42 billion. This isn't money that the states borrow to pay their unemployment insurance. And as you know, a lot of people are unemployed, so this is a rising problem for the states. 3 states already raised taxes to begin paying back the money that they owe. All right, and more than 20 other states are heading down that same lane. And want to let you know, I don't know what the cap is, but I do know that under federal law, the tax increases become automatic once a state owes a certain amount of money. All right, panel. So next week, the administration is going to present a budget proposal. All right, under the proposal, the administration would impose a moratorium in 2011, this year and next year, on state tax increases and on state interest payments on the debt. So the question I ask you, and I'll let you go first, Adam, is this the way to go? Are there any other options?
What we really need to do is go back to creating private sector jobs.
Okay.
And that's oh, I'm sorry.
Arthel. No. Just again, it's a give and take.
Creating private sector jobs by providing incentives for
the
corporations and businesses
to hire.
And how do you do that? All sorts of ways, tax incentives and the like. But to put people to work in the private sector, not to create new public jobs and not to create dependency by, continuing this unemployment, ad nauseum at a point where we just can't afford to pay it back.
And Adam, I would imagine that Eric agrees that, yeah, the answer is to put folks back to work, but obviously hasn't been a real easy feat to accomplish at this point.
Well, yeah, it hasn't been an easy feat to accomplish at all. And if I'm an employer, and I'm doing fine. As a matter of fact, I've done a little bit better in a bad economy than I was before it.
And how did you do that?
But I'm not,
how did you do that? How did you do, Eric?
My looks. I don't no, I mean my company we grew during a down economy. In my industry, there was such a focus on places like this show actually is. Everything that was viral, everything that was virtual, everything that was on the internet. So we became du jour or attractive at a bad time. Kind of lucky. But it didn't. But I'm not hiring, and I'm not going to hire unless I'm making more money to hire. So don't, when everybody at this network at least knows I'm a big supporter of President Obama's, and I'll fly my partisan flag. My politics are different from yours, even though you're bigger than me. But to say hire to an employer, yeah, I'll hire if I need to. I don't need to because the economy won't support that.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Hope? Okay, never mind, she says. Voices in my head. We wear an earpiece, and the producer tells us when we need to take a break, etc. So
it's like God is speaking to you from the control room.
Arthel, my question is, do you hear the voices without the earpiece?
Absolutely, and there are more of them. When the earpiece is not in, the voices multiply for some reason. All right, so going back to what you were talking about, Adam, that in 2014, the administration proposes to increase the taxable income level for unemployment insurance from $7,000 to $15,000. That's what you were talking about. Yeah. And then the states, however, could retain their current rates, meaning that employers like you could face higher unemployment insurance taxes beginning in 2014. So what's the long-term solution, and what should be the long-term plan?
Well, first of all, I mean, I agree with Eric. I
love you.
I'm a small business owner.
With you so much.
Well, except for the politics part, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I was about to give you a hug.
It's a good thing I said something. I'm a small business owner too. And I am very, very concerned about the long-term prospects of hiring, and in terms of not only the federal Bush tax cuts, as we call them, but the unemployment taxes that may come with it. To me, the long-term solution, Arthel, is found really in the private sector, and frankly is found within small businesses. Small businesses have been described as the backbone that drives our economy.
And by the way, we're talking about the states right now, and the aid to the states, and this is why we're talking about it, because the proposals that we've highlighted are going to be a part of the president's, the administration's budget that's going to be unveiled next week. But we have it now because an anonymous source leaked the information in advance. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to find out more about who that anonymous source might be. Welcome back. I'm Arthel Neville. We are hitting the headlines here at 10:23 on the East Coast in New York City, which is where we're broadcasting live from you now, right here on our streaming, or however you're looking at us on foxnews.com. Glad to have you with us. So Adam and Eric and I, we've been discussing the proposals that's going to be presented in a budget by the administration, but not until next week. So how do we have this information in advance? And the bottom line is the employers cannot afford higher taxes, and the people, and I say people, I chose not to say employees because a lot of people are not employees. They'd like to be employees. They can't afford higher taxes. Final thoughts before we say goodbye.
I just want to say, like, that little anonymous, quote unquote leak is so what goes on behind the curtain in Washington. Of course it had to be somebody who was sitting in meetings. The administration knows exactly who the anonymous source was. They probably told them to do it, so that they have a whole week now to poll the country and see what's everybody saying on TV, how's the country reacting to this. That's exactly what they're doing, and it's just that's a cheap trick. Do what you think is right.
And the people are tired of hearing the talk. They want people to walk the walk. But anyway.
No, it's not just, and I'm kidding about the heartless. It's not only that. No, actually I am, because what I really do believe, I only say it here every other week, is that people who have different politics like you and I, it doesn't mean that we're both not smart people, but that we both can't come up with really good answers. Instead of just I'll call you heartless, you'll call me whatever you want to say. Let's come up with really good answers. We can do that as a country. Now's the time to get together and do it.
Now I just want to give Eric a hug.
You know what? I think you should. I think you should.
I should have never brought it up. I knew it.
Adam Geller, Republican strategist. Eric Yaverbaum, he is the president of Ericho Communications, co-founder, readtovote.org. Good to see both of you. Thank you very much for your insight, your perspective, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.